Hey everyone, before I get into this video where I'm going to be showing you what you can do with expired food, I just wanted to share a couple of points first and foremost. Many of us in the prepping community are aware that expiration dates and best by dates are created by the manufacturer to protect them in the event that someone were to challenge them as far as the quality of that food and becoming ill from some sort of a food-borne illness. So while many of us keep these foods much longer than the expiration date and best by dates on our shelves because we are comfortable doing that, I myself am not allowed to kind of put that information out there. I can tell you what I do, but I have to be careful when talking about this stuff because I don't want to put myself into a position where I could be potentially sued later on. So these suggestions that I'm going to be sharing with you are just some things for people who don't feel comfortable keeping anything past expiration dates. And so this is just some brief information that I wanted to provide you guys with. The other thing is that while many of us are trying to rotate through our foods, which is exactly what we should be doing, there are still instances where you may come up on foods that are expiring either because they were pushed to the back of your food storage or you just didn't get to it in time because you thought you would. Maybe you're eating more fresh foods than you have canned foods and you've purchased a bunch of extra canned foods in case you weren't able to supplement with these fresh foods, so you overestimated in your food storage. These kind of things do happen. This is the real world, and while we all want to rotate through our food on a regular basis, there are times where we do find ourselves coming up on expiration dates. So while we in the prepping community are avid talkers about making sure you rotate through your prep so that you don't come close to dates, there are instances where this happens. I know for me personally, I ordered a bunch of extra canned goods during 2020, and at the time I was not thinking about the fact that everything was going to have the same date when I loaded up on these. Ideally, what you want to do is stagger those purchases so that you're not ordering large volumes or purchasing large volumes of canned goods at the same time, so that way you have newer dates coming in and everything does not have the same date. But this stuff does happen, and I want to shed some light on it and give you guys some options. This is just something that I have done. I went ahead and went through all of my stuff that I have stocked for our family, and just anything that was coming up close on an expiration date, I decided to go ahead and pull it out, and we are going to be donating this to our local food pantry. And I'm not sharing this with you guys to get you guys thinking that I'm this wonderful person because I'm doing this. I just wanted to give you guys a quick idea in case you're wondering what to do with stuff that's coming up on a date and you know you're not going to have time to get through it. This is a wonderful way that you can do that. Something else that we kind of like to do, especially if you go ahead and you get a food and you're not that crazy about it, but you ended up buying extra and they're not open packages. If you guys have a workplace where you have an open break room and there's quite a few people that work there, sometimes we'll just take those kinds of items and drop them in there too to kind of, bless the community. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean that somebody else may not like it. So this is just a quick little idea for you guys to get you thinking, and this is a way to kind of give back too. And I know not all of us can afford to do this, but if you do have things that you're not going to get to in time, it is a wonderful way to kind of just give back and make sure that nothing goes to waste, because that's the last thing that we want to do is to let any of this stuff go to waste. And when you do stock quite a bit of it, sometimes it isn't always feasible to get through everything that you've purchased. And I know with canned goods, a lot of us use them quite a ways past expiration dates, but food banks and things, they don't like to get things that are out of date. So if I already know I have a bunch of those canned goods already that are past date that I'm still trying to get through, and then I have others that are coming up on expiration, I will go ahead and do something like this. And it's just something that you guys can do if you are trying to figure out what to do with that stuff. The other thing that you guys could do is that with some of these canned foods, your fruit, your vegetables, I know people have done beans, they've also done some of these meats, you could go ahead and dehydrate them to extend the shelf life. If you have stuff coming up on expiration and you're wanting to go ahead and preserve that for longer, you could go ahead and use a food dehydrator. But donating is also a wonderful blessing. Just a quick share, and if you guys have enjoyed this video, please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and remember to pray, prep, and put God first. God bless.